Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, ladies and gents. Welcome to Nikki's Universe. First off, I would love to say thank you so much to everyone who helped me reach my end of the year goal of 100 subscribers. I'm just very grateful and thankful for everyone who is supporting me thus far on this journey. And we in this shit together, you feel me? And we about to get shit cracking. We trying to upgrade our way of thinking and how we perceive the world and just moving within alignment of ourselves, of our higher selves. Let's get straight to it. Today's video is going to be relationship advice. I have my little notes here. So, yeah, let's get into it. First off, difficult conversations or uncomfortable conversations are needed. A lot of people feel like relationships are meant to be just straight up, fucking rainbows and sprinkles.
Oh, right, yeah. Ice cream.
And all that shit, right? In actuality, there are going to be differences in a relationship. A lot of people are trying to avoid the uncomfortable conversations because they want to live within the illusion that everything is perfect, but that is unrealistic. It is about how you come to conclusion. How do you find the solution? How do you find a way to operate or speak your truth or speak on your differences without it being something that is being blown up or turned into an argument? A lot of people are not emotionally intelligent to understand the difference between an argument or having a disagreement. An argument is where you are speaking over each other, yelling at each other, not trying to hear each other out, blaming each other, pointing the finger. If you are unable to have a productive conversation, then there is no need to be in a relationship. That means you have a lot of internal work to do on your own. So if you are unable to compromise, unable to listen, unable to hear someone else out without being offended, do not think that a relationship that is peaches and rainbows is going to solve all your problems, because you're either lying to yourselves and holding things in, or you are just not mentally ready to handle a real relationship where conflict happens and you're unable to solve it correctly in a productive way. Next up, be straight up with what you want. So many people are trying to put people under this pressure in situations where they have to guess. When we cannot communicate our needs or how we feel to another person, that is not giving us the opportunity to understand how that person can truly move for us. We feel like people should automatically operate the way that we expect them to, when sometimes all it takes is just saying the word. Now, if you do say the word and there is no change, then keep it pushing. If you notice that person is not taking initiative or taking what you are saying seriously and actually making the proper changes, that is not sacrificing their own self, then you need to move on. But yes, be vocal. That is key. You just have to meet a person halfway. Okay? So set the tone for what you want and who you are and stand on that shit, but go about it respectfully. All right, so the next tip, your looks matter. They would keep up with their health prior to the relationship. So then once they get into the relationship, they will start to let themselves go. And say their spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend will let that person know, like, hey, you are starting to let yourself go and I'm not as attractive. Just to let them know. They would get offended. Say they broke up. And then that man or woman was like, you know what? I'm about to start going hard in the gym. They're going to feel bad for not sticking by me. That is so unfair to yourself, for one, and to your partner. When it comes down to self-love, you should maintain your health, maintain your hygiene, maintain your looks, because yes, you do change over the years, but you do not want to let yourself go and expect a person to still remain attracted to you. Love yourself enough to maintain your regimen of self-care. It is okay to better yourself. It's understandable to become stagnant at times because, like I said, life happens. And if your partner brings something to your attention, take it seriously. Do not down them and say, oh, you don't love me for me. Because if they didn't love you, they wouldn't say anything at all. All right. Next tip. Stop having kids to keep a man or a woman. A lot of people feel like having a child is going to solve all their problems, or they think that it's going to turn someone who seems unserious into a serious man or woman. Stop using kids to get what you want out of people, because people are going to show you exactly who they are before you even have the kids. So stop thinking that having kids is going to make a person change. They would use their kids as pawns. Stop being desperate and understand that it is okay to want kids, but have them under the right circumstances, not having them out of insecurity and trying to control a person or a situation or an outcome. All right, next tip. It is okay to not have everything in common with the person you are talking to. The only things that should truly be in common is your morality, your sense of self, and your communication. But when it comes down to things that you guys have in common as far as hobbies are concerned, it is okay to have varying hobbies or varying interests, because that way you can be able to learn about that person in a deeper way. It's like stepping into their world. For instance, you will see women getting upset at men for playing a game all day. But as opposed to getting upset about it, you can say, hey babe, what is your favorite game? Can you teach me? I want to play with you one day. So as opposed to getting upset that he's playing all day, y'all can bond based off of that interest. Not saying you have to like it, but it's called sacrifice. I'm not saying you're supposed to like every single thing or sacrifice every single thing for that person. But it's about taking initiative and at least trying. Because if you really like a person, you would do what you have to do in order to make them feel special and to make them feel like their world is basically worth exploring and joining. But if there are some common interests that make sense and that are doable, why not? Next piece of advice: be honest with who you are and love yourself first before trying to pursue anyone. And I feel like when you have a great foundation of who you are, you understand your morals, you understand your values, you understand your likes and your dislikes, you can go into a relationship that makes sense for you. Because for one, if you are exhibiting certain behaviors that are of your higher self, you are going to attract just that. But if you are insecure and going through certain mental things that you haven't worked out, and you're trying to force yourself to get into a relationship, you're going to deal with energies that are keen to yours, and that's not productive. So before you get into a relationship, you need to establish who you are first. Get your healing first. If you do not have a good relationship with yourself, how can you solidify a great relationship with someone else? So you need to be honest with who you are so you can attract what you need. But other than that, that is it for my tips for today. I have plenty more. In the comment section below, I would like for you guys to detail certain things that you feel like could help the next person. Okay, because we are here to help one another and to grow together. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in. I am so grateful. And like I said before, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. Yay! We have bigger goals to attain this upcoming year. Let's build this family together and let's get shit rocking. You dig? But thank you again so much for watching. Peace out.